So in England, he plays for Ormsby Table Tennis Club. Was runner-up in the Polish qualifier. And there immediately we can see Philip's approach. He's going to let Eugenie hit, encourage him to overhit and hit off. Let him have a couple of good ones. He won't panic if he loses a couple of points to big shots. But he'll gradually trying to reel Evgeny in. Nice consistency, just as you said, very, very consistent, solid player, Evgeny.
1-all.
Yeah, what we'll see from Szymanski is he'll start to learn where Milchin hits it, and he'll be getting more and more back as the game goes on. I expect Milchin possibly to get a lead. I have to say, it's, to me, when I play a defender, being in front early on is absolutely vital. The game just seems so much easier then. If it's close and you're the one making all the running, you start to get a bit nervy.
There's nothing to worry about, Tone.
2-1.
So patient from Milchin. He said he was going to mix it. He wasn't going to go all out. So there he is, going hard with that one, but then following up with a soft ball. See how good Philip was at getting back the first really hard ball, and he slows Evgeny down and then forces the error. Very, very clever way. It really works on your brain when the chopper gets the big shots back and he's still there after you've played all your big bombs. You think, what have I got to do to get the ball past him and win the point? And then quite often your arm will tighten up, you play the shot in a slightly different way, and then the little mistakes creep in and they more than compensate for the big power shots that go on. So smart guy, Szymanski. Lovely fella as well. He'll hit that one, but he didn't hit it hard.
No, it's interesting because when he plays table tennis, he is an attacking player, but he's just not found the confidence to bring that into his sandpaper game. But his movement is so good. You'll watch every time he defends, every time he'll pull it back from the corner and then move back to the centre of the table really quickly.
Yeah, so we can look out for that, the way that he has to go wide to retrieve the ball, but as he's doing it, he's not leaning out and going towards the barriers, he's pulling his way back into the centre of the court as he plays the wide shots. Very difficult to do, classical approach.
4-6.
And very reminiscent of the famous Filipino Richard Gonzalez. Similar kind of game, except Richard would tend to hit more forehands, although he can do the same as Philip's doing here and just chop on both sides. He's just trying to soak the belief and the confidence out of the attacker.
Well, at the moment, Colin, Milchin isn't doing enough to win the points. I think he has to commit when the ball's that little bit higher to getting it past Philip, because Philip Szymanski will just, at that pace, will very, very rarely miss.
Yeah, Philip's surprisingly consistent. I knew he was consistent and played him and got more and more surprised as the game went on. And in the end, I felt like I was just lifting the ball and I was playing into his chops. And he kind of keyed into me. Beautiful player, very, very bright guy. And to think that in table tennis he's an attacking top-spin player. This stroke production and recovery system is just fantastic.
Well, Milchin making lots of errors with his forehand at the moment.
Yeah, and it's not as if he's missing all the big balls, he's missing some of the medium shots as well, what you might call unforced errors. And that's the one that you said he should do, but it didn't quite come off. So how do you build it up to get the ball high enough to play the big attacks? And if Szymanski wins, who might he play and what would they do against him?
5-13.
Yeah, at the moment he's just not taking any chances, just trying to roll the ball, roll the ball, roll the ball.
5-14.
But it feels like he can't win the point that way to me. So he's going to have to hit 6 or 7 of those without missing and then get the big one on. To me, go a little bit harder earlier.
That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, this is so good to watch, isn't it? So we're a little bit like Chris Doran, although Chris is hitting most of the balls, chopping a few. A 15-5 first game win to Philip Szymanski, and this is artistry, ping pong artistry. Look at the recovery every time. You think he's getting out of position, but he recovers so well. Look at those returns. And then down the line, he still can't get through, and in the end forces the error. Absolutely what Milchin-Szymanski wanted out of the first game. Getting some really positive advice here from the coach, being very clear about what he thinks is happening, what Philip can do next. And Evgeny getting some support. His girlfriend travels with him, and some of the results, he says, very much down to her. Onwards, you see he's got water and he's got a glucose drink as well. So all of these players are managing their energy very, very carefully. They need the energy, they've got to expend a lot. They don't want to spend too much energy on the first day and be exhausted at the start of the second day if they intend to get a long way into this competition. So, as you can see, Popov and Rumgay will play in the last 32. Before that, we've got another cracker with the Flash from Germany, Alexander Fleming. There's Rumgay's new generation training. That's the secret loop tapes that are being played into the baby's brain there to make them a top ping pong player. So Alexander Fleming and Javier Benito of Spain to come. And then Dmitry Popov against Gavin Rumgay of Scotland. The popular and well-known Scot living in Stratford Newham.
Love 1.
Can't wait to see what kind of underpants Gavin's got this week.
2-love.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that, Colin, really.
Well, we saw them last year. He got overexcited when he won a point. He pulled his pants up, not down. But
2-1.
Always exciting to watch. Don't miss anything here tonight. So, Evgeny off to a better start. 2-love.
2-all.
Unforced error from Philip. That's not what the plan is. He has to be so consistent. He's not hitting the ball hard, so... Oh, and he's popped that one up in the air a little bit. Evgeny refused the hit. Wide to the forehand, into the crossover, got the ball up.
3-2.
So, a couple of little errors from Philip. Is that concentration, Tony?
Well, could be. I still feel that, you know, some of those returns are quite high. And Milchin's got to put him under a little bit more pressure, because as this game goes on, Philip will miss less and less.
Okay, so you're perfectly happy even in a situation that Philip will recover his game and be able to keep the ball down and soak everything up.
Yeah, I think if Milchin doesn't vary it more, Szymanski will miss less and less.
He'll come around to it, yeah. So this is temporary. This lead for Milchin. Well, let's see. Look at the footwork from both players, really exact, getting into position. Beautiful stuff. Philip refusing the backhand attack. Other players would have smashed it, but they might have smashed it off. Philip's still there, content to keep the ball on the table, just low enough that he can't smash, but eventually gets it up, plays it down the line.
2-5.
The problem with that for Philip, it wasn't low, but more especially it wasn't long.
Yeah. But look how many forehands Milchin had to hit here to win the point. That's
the shorter ball, and then Milchin actually got it in the end. It was the shorter ball that he was able to attack. So it can't be. Philip needs to keep the length on it, or it's okay if it's short or shorter, as long as it's very, very low, but slightly high and a little bit less length on the table, and that's when Evgeny will have the easier balls.
6-3.
Frustrated there, Evgeny Milchin, German champion ping pong.
4-6.
Just got the edge of the table there, Szymanski, so that helped him to close the gap a bit.
Yeah. And sometimes I swear that Philip's actually hitting it higher than he could to actually tempt you to go for the smash and miss just over half of them. He might come off and say, well, I'm keeping it as low as I can, but I think there's a little bit more cleverness to it.
And Szymanski wearing him
6
down
all.
again. The errors are creeping into Milchin's game, having to hit so many shots.
That's a beautiful, beautiful shot from Evgeny. You see the way he got his body through the ball there. And hitting the ball almost sideways, wide of the backhand. Beautiful stuff. Going a little bit wide of the backhand. And in the end, so wide of the backhand that even Philip couldn't get to it.
7 all.
Now there, he didn't really get his body behind it. He played it with his hip forwards. Evgeny didn't have the weight behind the ball. Strange technique to have to use, and just that little compromise just took the ball just a few centimeters out from where he needed it. That's higher. Yeah, that's a good paced shot there from Evgeny. Not too much risk, but solid attack there.
Yeah, a little bit more weight on that one. I am surprised he hasn't tried more drop shots, because Philip doesn't really hit it if he gets it wrong.
8 all.
He did say, I know earlier when talking to you, Colin, he was going to mix it up more, but he hasn't really done that.
No, that's true. I haven't seen many drop shots. That's a really good point, Tony. There it is, of course, now. They're obviously listening.
8-9.
But didn't get the point with it. But at least he's remembered that's part of the game. It's easy to get mesmerised when you're playing a defensive player like this. They kind of play you into a rhythm, and it's then hard to change that rhythm. That's a nice shot from Evgeny. Oh, unlucky.
10-8.
Yeah, he was in perfect position to put that away, and that backhand defensive shot from Szymanski just caught the net as it was on its way over.
That's beautiful play. We know what Milchin is capable of, and to see Philip just quieten him like this, masterful strokes. I'd have hit that first one harder. That one again, that's there. That's there to be hit. Again, a little bit shorter. Philip's got to keep it a little bit longer on the table. Watch where it bounces when Philip
Double
places
point
back
ball
in.
from Mr. Szymanski.
So there, long again, a little bit shorter, and then he's in trouble. So Philip's got to keep the consistency of length, or if it is going to be shorter, that's okay, but it has to skim the net to do so. So, double point ball. It's the first one of the match. Got a long way into the match here without anyone being played. So can Szymanski go 3 points away from victory with this double point ball? No change of tactics, no serve and smash from Szymanski to get a quick 2 points. Sticking to the knitting. Oh, and he definitely pulled that shot. He didn't look free on that shot at all, did he? See the tension.
Yeah, absolutely. So tough. He knew that point was also worth 2 if he missed. So that increased the tension in his arm.
And that's exactly how I felt when I played Philip. After a while, it's very, very hard to keep that freedom of mind and freedom of body. Just tense up a tiny bit and the shot falls apart. Nice and low from Philip there. Taking it a little bit earlier, keeping it low.
10-12.
Down the line and missed it.
Double point ball from Mr.
Interesting
Milchin.
tiny little variation there from Philip. Just to break it up a little bit maybe. So unsurprisingly, lost the first 15-5, 12-10 down in the second. You really have to get your double point ball working for you. But what this will do is get him back level pegging in this second game. So both players would be 3 points away from taking the second game. However, if he doesn't convert it, it's going to be 3 points down. Crucial point this. Oh, he definitely
13-10.
tense. Definitely tense.
Yeah, he stopped his arm halfway through the shot there on that last forehand.
Yeah, wasn't a proper shot. So 13-10, back to the orange ball. 2 points away from a Szymanski last 16 place. So patient. That's higher. That's higher again. Oh, it's came back. And that's come back, and he can't get that one. Milchin played that last ball
13, 11.
straight down what we call the crossover. You'll see him do it. There. No, it's not that one. That's right, he's got to play another couple wide of the backhand. And then there, right into the elbow of the player. Can't play a forehand, can't play a backhand. Moving sideways through the air. That's the perfect time to Milchin to get the ball out to Philip's body.
12-13.
Well, it's not over yet. 2 points from Evgeny, keeps him in it. Beautiful stuff. And again, more freedom, more power.
Yeah, just let go a bit more on those forehands. Just let the arm swing freely. Got a little bit more power.
Nice long return from Philip. And that's a beautiful ball from Evgeny. That set him up beautifully.
13-0.
Well played, Evgeny. That's not easy to come back from 13-10 down in this situation. But there, beautiful long ball from Philip. Kept Evgeny quiet, but then there and again. Wow, 13-all. Well.
14-13.
Again, if Evgeny doesn't get his feet in just the perfect position, he's at risk.
Yeah, there's great depth on that last chop from Philip.
Absolutely. Yeah, Evgeny going for a risky shot there, not quite in position, but went pretty fast with that shot, and that gives Milchin-Szymanski of Poland match point. Oh, well saved.
14-0.
That's better. If he takes this could be an interesting third if he can play that way for the rest of it. But obviously, Szymanski still with a match point.
Philip really wants this. Oh my word, he's taken it.
Game match.
He's delighted. 15-14 is enough.
2-0 Szymanski.
2 games to love, the tightest of second games, thanks to his supporters. And a great win there for Milchin-Szymanski of Poland, through to the last 16 tomorrow, and a guaranteed $2,000. So Alexandra Fleming up.